So, check this out, people. I want to tell you guys a quick story, right? This story is about friends, right? Friends that you need and friends that you don't need, right? Now, I'm in the Philippines, and even though I don't have any friends here, for those who watch me, you notice that most of the time I'm by myself, right, when I make these videos. It doesn't mean I'm alone. It just means that most of the time I prefer to be alone. I like to travel alone. I like to do things alone because it helps me clear my mind, right? I enjoy listening to music when I'm on the bus, when I'm on the train, and while I'm out by myself, right? And so, even though I'm constantly alone, I have a lot of good friends, and most of my friends, or all of my friends, are back home in the US, right? One of the things that you're gonna need while you are traveling outside of the US are good friends. You're gonna need your family. You're gonna need to stay in touch with people. You can't cut everybody off just because you're traveling outside of the US or because you're relocating the way I relocated to the Philippines, right? Because without my family, without my friends, I can't function here. I can't stay here. It's going to become difficult for anyone who decides to cut their family off or their friends off while they're here overseas, right? Now, how am I able to deal with all of my bank accounts back home in the US, still keep my American phone number because you're going to need it if you do banking back home in the US, if you're going to do bank transfers, if you're going to wire yourself money from the US, you're going to need all of these things because the US does not do bank transfers overseas. At least my bank doesn't, right? And so you're going to need to connect with people back home, with family back home, because all of my information and all of my banking, my credit card information, debit card information is still connected to the US, right? And even though I no longer live there, I still have an American address. You're going to need it. And so I have my daughters who help me out, who allow me to use their addresses so that I can have my credit cards sent to those addresses, so I can use their address as a billing address so that I can continue to use my credit cards, to receive my credit cards when my credit card expires and they send me a new one, or my debit cards, right? For example, just last year, my debit card expired. They sent a new card to my old address, and I wasn't able to deal with the bank. I wasn't able to wire myself any money. I was stuck. It took me a whole week to be able to wire myself money. Luckily, I was able to call my daughter, get her address, call the bank, and use my daughter's address as an address where they can send my new debit card to. And then my daughter sent me all of the debit card information, after which she cut up my debit card. I have my debit card information, the date, expiration, the whole nine, and I'm able to wire myself money, and I'm able to do the things that I gotta do, right? And so you have to keep your friends, you have to keep your family. There's gonna be times when I'm gonna need someone. You cannot make it overseas, people, unless you have a contact person back home in the US or wherever you're from. There are so many expats, so many foreigners who come to the Philippines and end up stranded because they come here with little money, or they spend all their money. They have no contacts back home. They have no friends. They have no families, right? And if they did, they completely removed them from their lives, believing and thinking that they were going to start a new life here, not realizing that you need the American contact or the contact to whatever country you're from in order to access bank accounts. There's going to come a time where I might need money, where there might be an emergency. I might get hospitalized. I might have to fly home right away. And I may not have the money I need to do these things, and I could just pick up the phone because I still have my US cell phone and US phone number. And through Wi-Fi, I can simply call any number back home in the US without charge, as long as there's Wi-Fi, right? And these things help you so that you're able to communicate in case there's an emergency. You need these things. You cannot disconnect your American cell phone, right? You have to hold on to that. I pay for my cell phone service back home in the US every month, because I need to contact my bank. I can always contact my daughters through WhatsApp and through Wi-Fi with a messenger or whatever, and I don't need my American phone number. But in order to contact all of these financial services, right, you need an American phone number or a phone number to whatever country you're from, so that you can have access to all of your banking, all of your monies, if that money is not sent to a bank here in the Philippines, right? And most banks will not transfer overseas. They won't, because of all these scams that go on. They won't do it, right? And so what I do, I simply wire myself money every month. I have a certain amount that I keep for myself after I pay all my bills, and then I'm able to live. And for those who watch me, you notice that I'm in a different place every week. Most of the time, I would visit a hotel twice a week on the weekends, or on the weekdays, depends on when my girlfriend is away, because she works. And since she goes to work, and on the days that she goes to work, I take advantage, and then I say, babe, I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna spend a day out, 2 days out, so that I can relax and enjoy my time while you're at work, right? And so these are things that you have to remember, people. You may have friends here in the Philippines, you may have a family, but you cannot cut off contact to those people who are there for you, who have been there for you from the beginning, who are back home in whatever country you come from. Because emergencies happen, things happen, and when they do, you want to know that there are people there who got your back. Keep this in mind, and you will do just fine. Don't be stupid, people, especially you fellas who come to this country with a certain amount of money. You overspend. It's easy to give your money away to the ladies. And trust me, if you're not smart, they will take your money. So keep these things in mind when you travel to the Philippines, when you travel anywhere in the world. Keep your enemies close, but most of all, keep your family and friends closer. Thanks for watching, people. Have a good day and have a good night.